What's up? How you doing? Here we are, Saturday. Beautiful day today. Has that nice fall feeling in the air, nice and fresh. And I'm out here reading my brand new Rolling Stone magazine. The thing that caught my eye today was the coolest gear of 2022, and specifically the Super 73. It's like a motorcycle, bicycle thing. Look at that, good looking bike. I always wanted something like that growing up. So, just under $3,000, and it has a range of 40 miles. You got the pedal going there, you run out of fuel, and then if you have fuel, of course you have the fuel part. But this thing looks perfect to put in the desert and just explore, because some places in the desert are very hard to get to using a car, and you can get there by foot, but it takes a while. I see a lot of good things in here. Looking at it now, beyond that point for the first time. Ozzy Osbourne, Back from Hell. Jamie Lee Curtis in the back. Last Word. They ask, they're asking her about 7-8 questions here. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I've seen her live a couple of times. Now, what happened here? The review section. First of all, I want to say about Rolling Stone, they don't review enough albums. Very small section. It's supposed to be about the music. They have a bigger section on politics than they have on music, and it looks like they got rid of the star system, 1 through 5. Now it just says "Hear This," and it's, what is it? 1, 2. 2 albums. There should be like 25 albums here every week being reviewed, every month, whatever. The 50 greatest shows of all time. Now this show here, that's ranked number 1, The Sopranos. I've never seen even one episode. I have no idea what the story's about. I have no idea. Number 2, and this is amazing, they're still on the air. New episodes are being produced, and they first went on in 1989. It's 2022 now. They're still making new episodes. The Simpsons. Breaking Bad, never seen it. The Wire, never seen it. Fleabag. Seinfeld, I've seen him live, and I think I've seen the show, I don't know, maybe 2 episodes, maybe. Cheers, love Cheers, I've seen pretty much all of them. Mary Tyler Moore, I've seen that show a few times. Succession, don't know what that is. Atlanta, have not seen it. Quiet, I'm trying to talk. Twilight Zone, love that show. Watched many episodes. I don't think I've watched all of them, but probably like 90% of them I've watched. Veep, never seen. The Americans, never seen. The Leftovers, loved that show. They pulled the plug on that too fast, but I was a huge fan of that. I watched it all the time. Larry Sanders Show I've watched. Twin Peaks never watched. Saturday Night Live, I was a huge fan of that. Still am to a degree, but haven't watched it regularly in many, many years. But there was a time when every Saturday night I was there watching. 30 Rock, I've never seen it. I May Destroy You, never seen it. All in the Family, I have seen. Star Trek, I'm not really a fan of those kind of movies, but I will make the exception here. Star Trek, and I think it was more the theme. That theme kind of got me into it. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know anything about the Klingons, but I just liked the whole mystery of it. All the other Star Trek stuff that came after, and I don't mean the movies, but the shows, didn't like them. Garbage. Put them in the dumpster. Watchmen, never seen it. Freaks and Geeks, never seen it. MASH, number 25 here. I've seen every episode of MASH. I love MASH. I never knew how much I would enjoy it until it was first on. I would flip the channels and I'd catch like 30 seconds of it or something. Never watched the whole thing back then. But in 91, no, was it 93, I think. Yeah, 93. They had the MASH marathon on, I think it was on VH1. And I had nothing to do, so I went and bought a Haagen-Dazs pint of ice cream from the local 7-Eleven around the corner. And I came back, turned on the television, and I watched the first episode, then the second one, and it started, you know, pulling me in and making me more and more curious. And then by the third, fourth episode, I was hooked. I could not get enough of this show. So I love this show, MASH. One of my favorite shows of all time. Deadwood, nope, haven't seen it. Friday Night Lights, nope. Sesame Street, love Sesame Street. Used to watch this all the time. Good memories on that show. I love that show. I love Count Dracula's House. Oscar the Grouch's Trash Can, love that. Bert and Ernie, that a nice house, nice apartment. Parks and Recreation, never saw that. Roots, I saw that. It was a good show. Remember, it came on in '77. Kunta Kinte got the foot chopped off. At number 31, Game of Thrones. I would never watch that. Do not like that style. I'm not a fan of that. I kind of think of that as Star Wars on Earth, or wherever the hell they have that show on. Don't like those shows at all. I can't sit through that, not even for like 20 seconds. Better Call Saul. I don't even know what that is. The Monty Python's Flying Circus. No, never saw that. The Office, saw like maybe 5 episodes of that, maybe 3. Lost. I love Lost. Big fan of Lost. Came on in 2004 to 2010. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that show. Arrested Development. Never seen it. I Love Lucy. I like that show. There was a period of time in the early 90s that I watched it all the time. So I've seen every episode. Hill Street Blues. Fan of that show. Like it. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Never watched it. The Good Place. Never saw nothing of that. BoJack Horseman. Nope, never saw that. Battlestar Galactica. I did watch that. This is the new one. I watched the old one that was on with Lauren Green, and that's the only reason I watched it, because I was a fan of Bonanza, and then I wanted to see Lauren Green. So I would watch Battlestar Galactica, but I have never seen this new one. I'm not interested anymore in that kind of show. Insecure. I don't know what that is. Late Night with David Letterman. I was a huge fan of that show. I actually went on the NBC tour back in '89, January. He was on vacation, and when we took the tour, we went to a studio, and it was tiny. I'm like, that's where he broadcasts from? That's a tiny place. And I bought a T-shirt, Late Night with David Letterman, and I wore that until it fell apart, and my mother made it into a rag for the kitchen floor. Columbo. I love Columbo, especially the older episodes, but I'm a huge fan of Lieutenant Columbo. From 71 to 78, just awesome show. Clever, a little bit of entrapment in that show on his part, but it was a really good show. Great mind. The West Wing. Never seen that. My So-Called Life. I don't know what that is. Never seen it. The Shield. Have never seen it. Friends. I think I've seen 2 episodes. Jeopardy. Love Jeopardy. I've seen lots of Jeopardy shows. Lots of them. Very sad that the $6 Million Man did not make it on this list. Yeah, that should have been on here. $6 Million Man. Anybody from my generation knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's an interesting. I'll read that up later. What else do we have in here? Stephen Curry. I don't think NBA superstar. I'll read that later. Got the politics section here. Check that out after. Babyface is back to help us exhale. Like Babyface, but you know, one time he was the go-to producer. If you wanted a hit, you'd call him up and say, hey Babyface, can you come help me out on an album? And he would come and make hits for you. And then he kind of faded out a little bit. Ozzy, mentioned that. Oh, horrible. Inside the making of Andor, the Rebel Star Star Wars series, the Rebel Star Wars series. I have absolutely no interest in this. I like this section of the cool gear, coolest gear, not just cool, coolest. A bunch of things in here, but this thing here, the Super 73, sticks out. Now, if these things were more reasonable, and I'm not saying $3,000 is not, you know, decent for this thing, but does it really cost that much to make one of these, to make a profit? This should be like, I don't know, this should be around $12.50. So pick through it and then I'll read it, you know, see what's in here. And now I'm going to talk about a CD that I have been listening to lately. I have played it a lot and I'm really enjoying it. The Black Keys, Dropout Boogie. So I love this song, The Wild Child. It's the first single. A lot of energy, great drums. But all these songs, great drums, great guitar, great vocals. It Ain't Over, For the Love of Money, another cool tune there. But they're all cool tunes. Love them all. See, number 5 here, Good Love. Good Love is one of my, if not my favorite song on the album. And Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top plays the guitar on this tune. And it is a great song. I highly recommend it. I mean, he's a great guitar player. I've always been a fan of ZZ Top. Another Sharp Dressed Man, Legs. Was that Eliminator or... But there was a time, late 80s, they were knocking the hits out of the park. LAPD. So, yeah. So yeah, number 4, Your Team Is Looking Good. But this song here that I really enjoy, though, Good Love. Love this song. How Long, good tune. Burn the Damn Thing Down, love that song. Happiness, another good song. It just dittos all the way down, as they say, you know. Baby, I'm Coming Home, and Didn't I Love You. See, for me, this is like really good quality, the whole thing, you know, really good quality. Good high fidelity sound, good mastering, by the way. 2 guys mastered the CD. Where are they? Mastered by Greg Calby and Steve Filoni, or Falone. Some people pronounce the E at the end, some don't. Stallone has an E, he doesn't say Stallone, but I bet you it's probably Stallone. Filoni, but great mastering on this. Music really pops on this. So I highly recommend it. Right there. Check out the video for Wild Child on YouTube. So yeah. Oh, one thing I was going to say about albums, CDs, whatever you want to call them. So I am not a fan at all of musicians that put like 13, 14, 15 songs on an album. Pick 10 of your best, 9, 10, right there, right around that range, and release those, and put the other 4 or 5 filler tracks into the vault, and release a great album. 10 songs, pick your 10 best. You know, Springsteen does it a lot. He's like, oh, I'm writing a lot of stuff, I gotta release it. I know he's got a lot of stuff in the vault, a lot of stuff, because he writes a lot of songs per album, and then he picks the ones he thinks are the best. But just 10. No matter how good you are, unless it's your greatest hit album, the 4 or 5 songs you're releasing are just filler. Just pick the 10 best, or the 9. I'm into the 9 and 10, right around there. Even 11 to me seems too much, but there are people out there that'll put out, like, you know, 15, 16, 17 songs on an album. That's not an album, that's just you showing off, okay? Just get the 10 best, put the rest into the vault, and then after you die, you know, your record company will release those for the hungry fans, you know. So I like this. This CD has 10. Billy Joel would release anywhere from 9 to 10. You know, 9 to 10. He wrote the quality he felt was the best he can come up with, and that's what he put out. he didn't sit there writing, 45 songs, recording, 10, 12 of them, and then, releasing the, whatever out of the massive pile of songs he wrote. He would write 10 or 9, or in some cases 8, and that's what he would record. That way you know exactly what he's going through at the time. It's just that material. I'm not really into these guys that write, all these songs and then they say, okay, I'll pick like 18 songs for the album. I wrote like 40. So that's it. Check out the Black Keys. That's a great album. And we'll probably be back later.